I dumped a bunch of money into Tesla, and ever since I'm just pretty much 100% Tesla or
Oh
90% Tesla.
man. So you're an early
And
Tesla investor. Awesome.
I guess, yeah, I'm pretty early.
So when I invest into
Yeah.
Dogecoin, but not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not any other coin, because of those factors.
This is Think Smart Brother, future entrepreneur and investing TV show that helps you to become the future entrepreneur and genius investor in the stock market. Here are your hosts, Jimmy, Leon, and Long Tran.
So think of this thing right here is kind of like me trying to get to know you as a friend, and you can ask kind of any kind of question that you want to ask, because my goal, honestly, so it's try to bring value toward my audience, and I really
Sure.
like when it comes to stock. So yeah, so
Sure.
tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what is your backstory? Like, why do you want to invest into stock and start the YouTube channel?
So I can give you a long story. I'll try to give you a short story.
Hey, tell the best story, honest story.
It'll be honest either way. So yeah, I went to college for biomedical engineering, but I looked around. I noticed that people didn't have the same extroverted personality as me. So I figured maybe I have to switch my major. So I switched into business, and everyone was making fun of business. They were saying, "Oh, business majors for stupid people."
Okay.
But that's just what I was well suited for. I felt like I had it was more natural for me, and I never regretted that. I just studied economics, finance, business analytics, and I had a lot of different jobs. Obviously I wanted to get paid because I grew up very poor. I grew up I'm a Russian immigrant in US, so my parents had nothing. I had no savings. I lived very poorly, and it sucks to be broke. You can't afford anything. You can't afford games. You can't afford clothes. You can't.
Totally agree.
So money doesn't. What I realized is money doesn't make you happy, but lack of money will make you unhappy. So
Absolutely.
I thought my whole life would be solved with money. I'm wrong. I have money now, but I still have so many avenues of life to keep experiencing and growing in. But yeah, I had all these jobs at different hedge funds, New York, Goldman Sachs, and Los Angeles. I worked at PNC, and I just had a lot of finance experience, and I loved it. And what made me kind of go into investing was that background, and obviously building wealth. But what made me start YouTube was I saw Andre Jick. He posted a video of how much money. Andre Jick, right?
Yeah.
So he's Russian as well. And yeah, he started a YouTube channel. He said how much money he made. I think it was December 2019. He posted how much money he made. I think he made like 190,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at Andre Jick, and not putting him down, he's a fantastic guy. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at him and I said, hey, this guy didn't study finance like I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I know more than him about finance. I'm confident in that.
Okay.
I have more knowledge. So I decided, hey, if he can make 180K, then I want to try making a living on YouTube as well, while also delivering value to other people.
Absolutely.
And my goal was just to kind of be better than Andre, but obviously his editing is out of this world. So that's kind of where it started.
So how is your journey with YouTube right now? Or you do it full time and you really enjoying it?
Yeah, so I do it full time. I did it full time since July. Well, I was doing it part time, but then I started taking it really seriously, and I do it full time right now. Sorry, what was your other question?
No, I just want to ask.
Do I like it? I think you said.
Yeah.
So I love many aspects of YouTube, and it's like the best job or best career or whatever it is in the world. I love it, but I'm not gonna lie. There's parts of it that anything in life, too much of any good thing is some of it will get annoying. Too much with your wife will get annoying. Too much pizza. Too much pizza is bad. Too much anything. Too much vacation gets annoying. Yeah. So YouTube is like a hamster wheel. It's a lot of work. I'm sure because you have 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah. So basically, I just started YouTube for less than 2 months. That's
insane.
Yeah,
that's
man.
So much growth.
I have a very, very long story, but like today is your day. So I would love to do a story where you asked me some question about my backstory because I have a 7-figure company. It's growing to like almost 8-figure now. But like I love to share my passion. So I want to take all the experience that I have because before YouTube, man, I literally like record almost 1,000 videos of my Jimmy Tran journey every single day, one videos for the last 5 years. And I want to practice my skill of able to record with just one take. And I do it so many times. There's no like, there's no comment, cricket, everything. And I still keep going while I build my company, right? And all of a sudden, one day I was like, man, it seemed like all this COVID thing really happened. And I was like, crap. And it seemed like there's an opportunity. And during that time, I was like, I download this app. It's called Robinhood. And I download another app called Stash. And I think during that time, I kind of watched some of your videos saying, man, it seemed like this guy, he talked about Neo and all those kind of things. Like, oh, man. And during that time, I was like, man, I want to invest into Zoom already. But then I keep procrastinating during that time. And finally, Zoom blow up from like $150, $120 to all the way to $300 something. I say, man, I cannot miss out this opportunity anymore. So I was like, let me deposit like $5,000 to $10,000 into my Robinhood account, and I pump into Neo during that time after I watched your videos, and Neo, I invest during that time. It was around $18, and it went all the way up to like 50, 16 before it pulled out to 38. But I have a really long story from there. And finally, I crank out some video of what I learned. And man, I studied from the motley fool, everything, diversify everything. And later on, I feel like it just doesn't work for me. So I kind of narrowed down my focus, I want to become a sniper, like find few company that I really
like a sniper. I love that saying.
Yeah. It's kind of like, because in my business, the same thing.
You watch
too.
Chicken Genius?
Huh?
Do you watch Chicken Genius?
I love Chicken Genius because the first time when I watched his videos, I was like, man, this guy is kind of like he fit my style because I paid like $3,000 to $5,000 like to Motley Fool, but when I went to the portfolio, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, man, this is like they introduced me to dinosaurs company, like Salesforce, Microsoft, and I couldn't see this company can become big in the future. But I like, you know what? It's okay. I learned a lot of things from them, and it's worth the money. And finally, I listened to you. I listened to Junior Chicken, and finally, I started to compress everything that I learned. Right. So I was like, you know what? I learned from Henry. I learned from Junior Chicken, and finally, you know what? When it comes to building business, right? I was like, man, when I build my business, before I failed so many business because I do so many things. But when I start to focus in one thing to become the best in the industry, which is we sell in life insurance, right? So I like, you know what? I want to become the biggest person in the industry for the insurance and selling this one product, okay? And finally, we did it, right? So when it comes to investors, say, you know what? Why don't I do like a sniper, right? And anyway, my story down the road later on when it comes to your channel is Dogecoin. I pound a lot into Dogecoin, and we make like a lot of money into Dogecoin, probably like over $4 million in Dogecoin right now. So it's kind of crazy. But now, yeah, thank you so much. But here's the thing about you. I owe a lot of things to you though, because I watch your Neo, but Neo is just the starting point. I still have option into Neo as well. But like I say, sometimes you just have to start a small step, right? Take the action and start a small step. And from there, a lot of doors open up for you. I never really imagined in 2 months I could have like 20-something thousand subscribers. I didn't really never imagine right now, man. Henry, the first person that I watched YouTube channel, and he reached out to me. It's like kind of some sort of like God is already planning, right? It's like, like God have big things in store for you.
I count myself as just a normal person. It's insane. I know some people have that effect. They think like I'm like some type of God, but I'm not. I'm a normal person, just like you and everyone else.
No. I'm not talking about like you as the God. Because in this world, there's only one God to me. There's no one I really think is really God or anything like that. I believe our Father up there is the only God. But what I say is God have a plan for me and you. You see what I mean? Yeah. Because I would not think that, for example, like, man, it would be cool for me to talk to Henry. And let me reach out to him. And finally, like, he scheduled the appointment, and here we are. And this is actually our first conversation. And I was like, that's pretty cool right there. But Henry, this is what I really want to know more about you. Like, for example, like, what do you like most about like stock and crypto investing? Like, and what like motivate you to start a channel beside you like, you know, watch you know, watch from Andre, he making the money. I know money is really important, but I know that something in there is kind of like inspire you that you want to start a YouTube channel for a bigger mission. Like it's kind of like, for example, me, right? I started a channel because I see so many people, they diversify, and I want people to stay really, really focused so they can invest like a genius and win that money. It's really simple as that. So what is the inner drive, the motivation that's caused you to push and even push full time into your channel? What is it? I really want to know.
I think it's just really sharing and influencing others. I've been doing it since I was a child. I always like to push everyone to the max. With my friends, I always try to push them to go gym. With maybe ex-girlfriends, I try to push them to be their best version of themselves. And I like to influence. And it's so funny because I don't even think about it this way, but I guess I'm an influencer. I like to impact as many people's lives as possible. For me personally, I was watching Solving the Money Problem, December 2019, and his very first video, I watched it. It was like Solving the Money Problem.
Oh, okay.
And he did Tesla's Engineering Genius, or Cybertruck is Engineering Genius.
Okay.
So I dumped a bunch of money into Tesla, and ever since I'm just pretty much 100% Tesla, or 90% Tesla.
So you're an Tesla investor. Awesome.
I guess, yeah, I'm pretty early. So I just like to pay it forward. I mean, he kind of paid it forward to me, and I just decided to start a channel to share similar information, share with the world what Tesla is doing, what innovative companies are doing, how to invest, pretty much just helping the world. And it's kind of crazy that I probably impacted a lot more people than I can even imagine.
Totally agree.
I don't even know who watches, right? I mean, I have no idea. People reach out all the time. They say, you've helped me. I'm like, that's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, you know, the best feeling is like really good is when you try to help other people to achieve more, and finally, you know, you never know, your video can really impact somebody and help them to win. That's a really cool feeling.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win. I love this online financial game because you help people make more money, you make more money, everyone's kind of building wealth together, and that's amazing because you need wealth to have a family, for health, for everything. It's an important equation in everyone's life.
I see.
And I want to simplify it and teach others, as many people as possible, because so many people don't learn about finance. For me, I never even thought about starting the YouTube channel because I never thought someone would listen to me. I thought it was kind of common knowledge, but I realized people are experts in different areas, and so many people could be really smart in one area, but they don't know much about financial area.
I agree. Totally agree. Hey, guy, if my friend right now is watching this video right now, guy, if you want to learn more about Henry, go to Invest with Henry, right?
Yep, Invest with Henry on YouTube.
Invest with Henry on YouTube. Where can they find more about you as well?
It's just Invest W Henry on Instagram. People can always message me, and if they have an interesting question, I always respond, or I try to respond to as many DMs as possible. But that's really it. YouTube and Instagram.
Awesome. Hey, Henry, if you don't mind, you can share like some sort of like, I know you have a portfolio right now, and if you don't mind, would you mind to share with my audience, like what do you think is the best top 3 of your favorite stock right now during this economy when the market is pulled back right now? If you have $20,000 to invest, what is the top 3 favorite company where you will pound that money in?
So I'm going to sound like a broken record because I pretty much look and I copy what the best people in the world do. And for me, it's Tesla.
Okay.
So number 1 is Tesla. That's what I have in my portfolio. I'm really a big fan of Bitcoin. I think because of all the money printing the government has done, inflation should go up. However, I don't like buying Bitcoin on other platforms. So I actually have this interesting strategy where I want to stick to stocks. Reason being is because I really trade a lot of options. Okay. Every stock I buy, I always do covered call. I have videos on that. I have a whole playlist on my channel. I always do covered calls where I sell puts. And you can't do that on Bitcoin. You can't trade options on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So what I do instead is I buy a lot of Tesla and I do covered call on Tesla. And I do other companies that are invested in Bitcoin, like Square.
Okay.
So I got Square. Square's my second pick after Tesla, I guess. And I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously NEO as well. NEO's up there. NEO is great for options. So I love NEO, Tesla, Square, PLTR, another fantastic company. Palantir.
Man, I love
The
I love
CEO,
Palantir. We power a
the
lot of money
CEO
into
went to my high
Palantir.
school.
Huh?
What was that?
We power a lot of money into Palantir long term and option.
Nice. The CEO, he went to my high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my high school is it's a very, I wouldn't say it's popular, but a lot of famous people went there.
Okay. What high school is that?
It's a central high school in Philadelphia. It's the most
Oh,
diverse high school in the nation, actually. If you go to the high school, there's people from every religion, every race, every culture. We have everyone there. So it's really cool. Middle of nowhere, like Center City, I guess, Philadelphia.
mm-hmm.
It's not in the best neighborhood, but it was a great experience. And yeah, the CEO is from there. So I kind of like the company even more because of that.
Hey, I think the company that you mentioned is really solid, like Tesla, Square, Neo, and Palantir. So those companies is pretty solid in my opinion as well. So thank you for that. But here, I think this is the most exciting part and interesting part that I think my audience really want to hear, because I saw that you actually talking about Dogecoin as well, right? And I'm like one of the person that really believe to Dogecoin. I talk about Dogecoin day and night all the time, right? And I like my biggest position of ThinkSmart Brother into Dogecoin. So so right now, Henry, do you invest into Dogecoin?
Yes, I have some Dogecoin as well. I don't have as much as I probably should, or as much as I I make so many videos on it because I'm bullish on it, but I'm more bullish on it as a trend. So I have a few thousand Dogecoin, which is not much compared to my overall size of the portfolio, but I'm pretty bullish on it going to maybe like 50 cents. But I don't know what the fundamental value is. I don't know, right?
Okay.
And I don't know what it is with crypto. All I know is people are investing in it. And right now, what I realized is the market's not about fundamentals. It's about what other people are doing. So I try to follow more trends right now. Okay. And I learned that with YouTube too. You got to make searchable content. You can't just make a video about anything. You have to make searchable content, which is high traffic. I've noticed that when people are searching things, that means there's a lot of interest, and a lot of interest is good for a stock or anything.
Absolutely.
So,
okay.
I see there's a lot of interest in Dogecoin. And I think that's not going to stop anytime soon.
There's a lot of interest in Dogecoin, and right now Dogecoin have so much awareness right now on the search engine, maybe even exceed more than Bitcoin right now. It's going crazy. Yeah. So this is the question I kind of want to ask you to see what is some of your thought, because right now many of the Dogecoin investor, they are worried, they are fear that Dogecoin is make as a joke coin, right? And they have a limited supply, right? And this is the one of the most important thing that prevent them to buy into Dogecoin, right? So what is your thought about the unlimited supply and people say it is a joke coin? Because obviously you invest into it.
Yeah. So two things. One, I'm not the best expert in the world to answer that. But two, it's all about diversity. So from one perspective, you're right. It has an unlimited supply, which is not the best thing long term. So I'm not sure about Dogecoin 5 to 10 years. I know it's pretty good investment, maybe 1 month, 3 months. But long term, you're right about the supply. And I actually want to ask you your thoughts, because you might know better than me. And unfortunately, I went to fortunately and unfortunately, I got a formal education. I went to Drexel University. But the thing is about college, they don't teach you about innovative trends. I never learned about cryptocurrency in college. In fact, I think if I was less educated, I would be potentially wealthier in life in financial aspects, because I would take more risk. But because of college, I'm so risk averse. I don't invest as much as I should in crypto, I believe. And I'm starting to change my mind about that. But what is your thoughts about the supply issue with Dogecoin?
Okay. Well, I put a lot of thought into Dogecoin. I researched a lot into Dogecoin, but when it comes to investing, I like to keep things really, really simple, right? So the first thing is, a lot of time, if you think like right now in the world, what is the most, I would say, the number one ranked videos on YouTube is Baby Shark, right? You look at it, it's Baby Shark.
It's what?
It's Baby Shark.
Baby Shark?
Yeah, baby do something like that. It's crazy. So that
I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah.
So the #1 rank on YouTube is Baby Shark, and that video is began as a joke, and it's like really really funny, and like people, they don't even put a lot of time, they don't even engineer that video that well, and it's spot on fire, and they make the most money onto YouTube as a joke. And if you really pay attention in this life, a lot of time when a coin, you engineer so much, you have all the technical side of thing, you only hit in one particular niche area, right? You probably gonna make some money in those area, or the founder who create those coins only makes certain amount of money. But in order for something to become massive global, it's kind of crazy. I say this thing, you're not gonna see in book, you're not gonna see on online anywhere. It's kind of like the ironic thing. It's like they have the invisible force behind that happened by coincidence. It's kind of the Gangnam style, right? Go viral. Nobody really understand why, but because of those kind of funny thing, ironic, they go viral. So that's the first thing. So when I invest into Dogecoin, but not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not any other coin, because of those factors. Because I know those factors is a must for something to become like crazy, massive, and appeal to a lot of people. So that's the first thing.
You're right. Last video that I made a few. I said I like the simplicity of Dogecoin. It's so simple.
Everyone can understand. Everybody can understand. Like even my niece, my nephew, he say that he goes to school and people are talk about go to the moon. The Dogecoin go to the moon. Yeah. If the kid can understand, if my mom can understand about Dogecoin, so that's mean this become a global brand name, right? Because people, they don't care how good the coin really is, but they care about how convenient the coin really is. Yeah. People only use things that they know. So I see that in Dogecoin, but not any other coin. That's the first thing, right? So now it's not become a joke anymore, right? And of course, like Elon Musk, he say this thing, I'm totally agree with him. He say that fate love irony. Because I really see that Dogecoin is a fate that happened by accident. It's like, think about this for a moment. Like I created this video, Henry, that I say on my YouTube when I was working out at the gym. I have this aha moment. It's like, you know what? The biggest restaurant in the world is McDonald's. And the founder is left McDonald's or buy out by Ray Kroc, right? If you think about it. And Coca-Cola is the largest drink in the world. And the founders left, not really believe into it yet. And Candler buy out Coca-Cola, right? So think about it for a moment. And now the biggest currency in the world, the two founders created as a joke. And maybe there is somebody up there, choose those people do for a reason, create it as a joke without intention. Maybe during that time they say, I want to create this thing as a joke, just to see if the crypto really become the global currency of the earth, which is kind of crazy to see. So they couldn't see it themselves, but they think, what if one day it become possible? Isn't that crazy? So I think they created for a reason. And here's the thing. I like unlimited supply for a reason. If Dogecoin is not an unlimited supply, I would not put a lot of money into it. This is kind of crazy because when it comes to business, like if you know about me, like Henry, when it comes to business, I'm more like a strategic person when it comes to business and innovation. So when I see Dogecoin, I say this thing is kind of crazy, but like because Dogecoin have unlimited supply and Bitcoin have limited supply, they have value like gold, because Ethereum have limited supply, is kind of value like silver. I know they have value, but in the long run, it cannot become the US dollar. It cannot become the global currency, because to become a global currency, they have to have unlimited supply, right? And when the demand is so much, that it's impossible for you to have a limited supply. It's impossible for you to have a limited supply. And I look at around the world right now, there's only those coins stand out. They have a limited supply, and with 5 billion coin per year, which is, I think, is quite small. Because right now, I'm not too worried about the 5 billion supply per year, 10 billion coin per year, for example, to be like inflation. I'm not worried, because why? Those are the technical side of things. Because imagine if you are the developer, if you are Elon Musk, for example, if you are someone to believe into Dogecoin, eventually you would hire back the developer or talk to the developer to increase those kind of limits when there's enough demand. And I do not see, those coin is gonna like go bankruptcy or like going down because of whatever a limited supply. That thing is a myth. It's only a fear. The only reason why it go down because people they don't believe into it. They just sell, right? So I really see those coin, man. I'm really bullish into those coin, and I love the fact of a limited supply, and I can talk all day about those kind of things. But now it come back to you. But is the stuff that I say it just makes sense?
Yeah, it does. Actually, I was thinking about this, and I think I put this as well as my last video, or I'm gonna put in my next video, is that I like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin as my top 3 choices in crypto. And I actually like Dogecoin a lot because of that unlimited supply as well. Because I think I'm a big fan of diversity. I think you need to diversify with all your investments.
Yeah.
And I agree. I like Bitcoin because it has a limited supply, meaning it will go up with demand. But it's also interesting to have a coin that does have unlimited supply. So you need both in your portfolio.
Yep.
So I like having all 3. I like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin. However, I'm more invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I want to see if more celebrities get behind Dogecoin. I want to see it stabilize a little bit. It's a little bit volatile for me because also I'm creating content. So I don't have as much time to watch it. And I think with Dogecoin, you need to watch it a little bit. You need to pay attention. You can't just set it and forget. You could set it and forget it, but
yeah,
ideally you pay attention. So I'm a fan of all 3. And I like what you said about the supply. You're right. If it's going to go global, everyone's going to be using it.
Yeah.
It needs to have unlimited. You're right.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Henry. Like when I invest like into this is just my take, right? Because I'm like a very big risk taker. I'm not advise everyone to be like me, right? So if you look at like Elon Musk back then, right? One of the reasons why he quit PayPal, right? Because even though PayPal is safe during that time, he make a lot of money, but he quit PayPal and he take all of his money and fortune, right, Henry, and he power into SpaceX. He power into Tesla during the time, and he know that the chance of success is not really high, but he still put his money because he sees something is really big, global movement for the future. And here's me. Elon Musk, he like to position himself before the big wave. A lot of investor, it is okay to do that. A lot of investors, this is what they do. They like to see a couple of things like celebrity get behind, more broker accept those coin, and a lot of catalysts has happened. But I'm a little bit more opposite. I like to position myself before the big wave. Like if the celebrity jumping on, obviously it's gonna be really good, right? If more place put it on, like back then when we would invest, it's around like 2 cents, even 3 cents, because all these big catalysts haven't really happened. I see, what? This coin have all this factor based on the logical, it makes sense. Based on the emotional, it appeal to people, makes sense. Even based on the spiritual side, it make a lot of sense for those coin. And now not many people really know about this thing yet. So let me position right now before all this big catalyst really happen, right? And we power huge thing into it. But it is so that is just some of our tech. But Henry, let me ask you this. If you have one important like advice like to give to our audience, because I know you went through a lot of struggle, lesson, a lot of pain, because to evolve into stock is not a quite easy journey. You have to went through a lot of pain to learn all your lesson. I'm pretty sure that. So if you don't mind, like share with our audience, like what is the one most important lesson that you can share to the audience that can help them to success onto their journey? What would that be?
Yeah, I love that question. It makes me smile because, to be honest, I went to Barnes and Nobles. I read every single book. I wanted to get out of the situation I was in. And I lived in poverty for the longest time. I couldn't afford much. I said that earlier. And I was living like a minimalist. And there's a huge trend for minimalism on the internet. People are making videos on minimalism. And I think it deserves a place. But at the same time, I think people need to live abundant lifestyle. And if I were to have the biggest piece of advice is focus on being talented at one thing and being world-class at it. So the only way that you're going to be able to make an impact is if you can offer a lot of people a lot of value. And that doesn't happen by being a jack of all trades and doing a little bit of everything. It is from finding what you love so that it doesn't feel like work. And you can do that all day, because I work 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. but it doesn't feel like work because I do like what I do. So I would tell everyone the secret isn't being the best investor or knowing a secret. It's about working really hard and finding what you want to do in this world.
Man, that is one of the best advice ever, guy. So if you guys listen to Henry, guy, I really think that because a lot of my friends, they were like, man, Jimmy, you work too hard, right? But the thing is, sometimes when we like work on something that we really love, I mean, it doesn't feel like working, right, Henry?
It does not feel like it's work. Yeah, you can do it for a lot longer than someone who doesn't like what they're doing. You'll outwork them. It's all about working hard.
All right, guy, bring a lot of value and be the best at one thing, guy. Don't be the jack of all trades, like Henry is really mentioned. Yeah. So, guy, if you want to learn more about Henry, guy, I think Henry, he is the real deal when it comes to investing into stock. And as a matter of fact, I learned a lot of things from Henry about Neo, and his video is really, really in detail. So if you want to learn more about Henry, where do we go, Henry, again?
Invest with Henry on YouTube or Invest W Henry on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you.
And I have investwithhenry.com too.
Yeah, thank you so much, Henry. Give me one moment. I'm gonna turn off this video and just want to say thank you so much for your time, man. I know I really appreciate for your time. Thank you so much for bringing your value and your message today to my audience. Truly appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you too, Jimmy. I learned a lot about Dogecoin and your ideas about supply. It was very interesting connecting with you. I really appreciate it. And I can tell that you're going to be really big on YouTube because you talk very well. And the way you articulate your ideas, I think I can learn a lot from you.
Hey, man. Love it, man. So whenever you need to connect again, whenever you need to interview anything about Dogecoin, let me know because I'm all in with Dogecoin. ThinkSmart Brother, we all in with Dogecoin. We hold a lot of Dogecoin, and I really believe this is going to be seriously, Henry. When I talk about Dogecoin, not because I bet without any reason, because just like for example, when I play poker. Like when I come to the casino, I don't play anything else besides poker because poker is.
Me too. I only play poker.
I only play poker because it's based on skill set, right? And it's understand your opponent. Understand your opponent. And I really think that Dogecoin right now is so undervalued, and people they are really think this is the underdog. And normally the underdog is the one that win. Okay, so
yeah,
super excited, man. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, man.